Hey guys, I'm Clint Flair Woo, and welcome back to another Division 2 video. And today, this is unscripted, this is a rant, and this is something I wanted to get off my chest. But hopefully this is informational. Hopefully you guys can drop some feedback in the comments box, because I always love to hear whatever you have to say. Even if it's negative, I will respond. Don't worry about that, I'm not shrinking violet. So your opinions mean the world to me personally. But I want to talk about the Division 2, PvP, and what happens next. Let's do this. Okay guys, now I'll give you a backstory first. I'm a Division Day 1 player. Back in March 2016, I picked this up on launch day. However, that was not my intention. What happened was a few months before, I had the luxury of playing the beta. Now, what happened, I was at work one day when a couple of the guys slapped on the Xbox, downloaded the beta for me and said, try this out, give this a whirl, let me know what you think, see if this takes you off Destiny, you know. And way back when, I was a Destiny PvPer, daily PvPer, hardcore as well. I used to love that game, so it'd take a special kind of something to get me where I need to be in the division. So beta loaded up, logged on, had a little bit of a dabble, thought yeah, it's not too bad. And then go into the DZ, go into the Dark Zone, try it out. You love PvP, this is your thing, it's your baby. So, went into the Dark Zone, had a bit of a run round, and then I saw a guy, this random fella, and he was trying to take out some NPCs. So my mates next to me, well, so-called mates, shall I say, they were next to me saying, shoot him, just kill him, he can't see you, just kill him. I went, no, don't do that, no, kill him, please, Clint, kill him. So, I shot him. Shit till his health dropped. He turned around and was like, what the hell's going on? What's happening? So he saw me, and what did I do? Did I fight back? Did I try and take him down? No. I ran like a girl. I ran and ran, and he chased me. And he continued to chase me all the way through DZ1 and DZ2 into DZ3, where I ran into a bunch of NPCs that took me down. As he was still chasing me, it came up to me and just looked and he gave me the clap. And, and at that moment, that feeling, it felt tense. It felt emotional. And it felt like, I want to do this again. I really want to play this game. I want to get back in the Dark Zone. Whether I'm defeated, whether I win, whether I'm victorious, whatever the weather, I wanted to get back into the Dark Zone and play this game. So the rest of the beta, that's all I did. I did PvP, Division, and in all honesty, I was very much skittish playing the game, and I was a bit wary because it's not usually my cup of tea third-person shooters. I'm a first-person shooting kind of guy. So I was very wary, very apprehensive, and to be honest, I was shit when I first started. I was bad, and I tried to avoid PvP, but the whole kind of uniqueness about the Dark Zone had me hooked. So from day one, Division was purchased, it was lodged into my Xbox for nigh on 3 years after that. I put how many hours into this game for one reason and one reason alone, the Dark Zone. That is the reason why I've persevered with this game for 3 years, because of the PvP in the Dark Zone. And if you go through the various patches, we're looking Alpha Bridge FAMAS, we're talking Sentry Shotgun, One-Shot Seekers, Flame Turrets, Striker, and so on and so on. There's so many bad metas, you think, shit, can we get through this? And I always saw a way. There was always another build that was viable. There was always something you could do to compete. That's what I found. And the longer I played this game, someone said to me, Sentry Shotgun, that's the only build to use. Or a Vector build, This Vector was so powerful at the beginning of Division 1. It's become a beast in Division 2, So there was ways and means that I found to counter these builds. And I wanted to try so much out, so many options out to kind of deliver and harness builds and keep improving on that and competing against very good PvPers, just to improve my skill set in the game. And I did that over a long period of time. However, it had its shortcomings. The game had countless issues. The PvP, 20-25 hours. After that, I got bored, in all fairness. I pushed it aside and was not bothered with it. And the only time I PvE again is when there's a global event. You want to farm for exotics, you want the house, you want Barrett's bulletproof chest piece, you go to Lexington. You know, there's so much you do to get into that, but I'd always end up going back into the dark zone. Even in global events, I say, screw this, I want some PvP. I want to chase rogues, I want to be rogue, I want to kill people. Simple as that. And I did that in The Division, and I had so much fun in that game with not a lot of toxicity, mind. You know, some players had a lot, I didn't. Only towards the end I got a little bit of toxicity. But throughout the patches, I genuinely loved this game. It was addictive, it really was. And then what happened? You know, I played other games in between. I played a bit of Ghost Recon Wildlands, enjoyed it, went back to Division. Played Diablo, enjoyed it, went back to Division. Played Blackout, enjoyed it, back to Division, so on, so on. That's the recurring theme of this video, that I went, after so many games that I tested and tried, I always ended up going back to the Division. Now, that left me extremely excited when the Division 2 was announced last year. I had the fortunate opportunity to play the game back in September last year. I went to a conference, I had a game, Ubisoft were slapping out demos of, again, the one that was pretty much everywhere, on Eurogame, AGX, etc, etc. So I got 5 minutes with the game. Loved it. I did. However, I didn't like the movement. It felt very Ghost Recon-ish. Just felt a bit off. I love the sound of the weapons. I loved everything else. But there was something about the movement I did not like. So I thought, screw it, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to still play the Division. Keep having fun. Enjoy the game. And when the beta comes out, smash the beta, deliver my thoughts, and then wait for the full release in March, and then absolutely smash it. And that was my idea, my ideology, and that's what I did. It took me a good few hours to get to World Tier 5. Had a barrel of laughs doing that. The game was an immense amount of fun. You get to that, you're grinding for gear. PvP. Now, with the Division 1, there was always something that drove me back into the Dark Zone. There's something, there's a hook. And it's that unique gameplay set that gets you back into the PvEVP of the Dark Zone in the Division 1. There's something magic that Massive produced and bottled it up and put it in that game to get you back in there consistently. Now, with the Division 2, I do not get that feeling with the Dark Zone. Three DZs, all of which are very sparse. There's a lack of players, and it seems to be the same old shit, different day. But not as compelling, not as dark, not as dingy, not as have to go in there, not as luring as the DZ in New York. Washington does feel a bit like the Land of Oz, in all honesty. It's full of green and colour, and it's not my ideal location. So that does put me off a little bit. But again, the mindset of players, of the shall I shoot, shall I not shoot? You know, you'll always see that video at an extraction where you got it's Dirty Harry and the cowboy, you know, and sort of stick up at extraction point. Who's going to go rogue? You know, go rogue, I'll shoot you first. You know, I always see that every few weeks. Some guy will share on Facebook, and I laugh. You know, and that's how I felt in the Division 1. The Division 2, I don't feel it. I do not feel it. The PvP feels much weaker than the Division 1. And the Division 1 had a shit ton of problems, don't get me wrong. But PvP in this game does not feel right. It does not feel balanced. It doesn't feel that the mechanics are as on point as they should be with the first game. And we're talking, you want to break it down further, if you look at the deployment of skills, they are clunky and they're tiresome, and not to mention, they are very delayed. You know, you've got 2 to 3 seconds of deploying a fire turret. That's shit. It's utter shit. You know, where's the support station? You know, the Division 1, the skill set, the game, all the skills were easy to deploy. A lot of time and effort trying to master. And that's what I loved with the Division, is everything was easy to use, difficult to execute, difficult to get it perfect, Once you did, you knew exactly what to do and you could master that skill set. Whereas the Division 2, it's just clunky, difficult to master, but not an enjoying experience to master at that point as well. It's just frustrating, and I don't like frustrating because I don't see the end product of getting better using those skills and using that particular build. I don't see that point where that 1,000 hours into the game and you feel any better at the game. I think PvP, I mean, there was a Marco Styles video recently, I believe it was today, that said that you could play the game for 4 hours or 1,000 hours, and you know, in PvP, you won't really know the difference. And that's pretty much correct, and that's a shit sentiment. I can only resonate those thoughts because I've fought players who are much weaker, and I've been testing builds out, and I've just been melted. The builds that people use, and the people, again, from YouTube, Wid's build, Remarkable Blades build, whatever the weather, LMG, Unhinged, SMG, Vector, you know, and it's... The game doesn't feel very skillful. It feels like there's a lack of skill within the game. Whereas Division, I felt there was a decent amount of skill, you know, and a point where you could shoot and pop a heal. You'd have to be very skillful, very knowledgeable to do that and execute it perfectly. And at the right time as well. The good old 1.4, 1.5 days, and now it's everything feels clunky. That's the best way I can personify how I feel about this game, or put into context. It feels clunky. It feels just not right, and that's a big reason why I'm not enjoying the game. It just feels like a lot of hard work, but not a lot of reward. And I just hope deep down, whatever the patch, you know, there's a patch next week, title update 3, will it fix the game? In my honesty, no, it will not. It will just create a bigger problem, because they're changing the whole talents on the gear that make them uber powerful, and they're nerfing them into the ground. But what they are doing is they are giving you an extra shit ton of health through the stats you can roll on your gear and extra armor. So in a nutshell, all you would do, everyone's a tank. Everyone will spec into a tank. So the time to kill is going to be so long, whereas before it was so quick. So you'll have the time to kill of 1.5, 2 seconds, if that. Now it's going to be 10 to 12 seconds. Is that right? I don't feel it is. I feel that that's just completely the other way, you know? And again, they've said they're buffing skills. However, how much are you going to buff skills to make them competitive in PvP? Because you need to buff them a whole shit ton to get them competitive. You do, you really do. So it's just not worth specking into that whatsoever. In PvP, you just spec into a tank. And then you at least can out-battle someone over time. And it's just going to put the game in an awkward, tricky position. I really, really do feel that. And I feel they need to make changes to PvP. There's not much variety. In fact, there's very minimal variety. 3 DZs, unpopulated, boring. People go to the ODZ, it is just shit fest. There's just no fun. There's no point in putting a build together. There's no point farming for gear to play in PvP because it's just shit. It really is. The time to kill's a joke, and once they fix it next week, the time to kill is going to be through the roof. It's just pointless and boring, and that's not what I want from the game. I want the game to be balanced. It does not feel balanced, and I don't feel it will be. I think it'll be improved, don't get me wrong, after next week, but it will still have a long way to go to get anywhere near where the game needs to be. So guys, one, I want to apologise for complaining and whinging and just being that person, that guy to say, I'm pissed. You know, I don't want to do that. Generally, my videos are quite positive. But I wanted just to resonate my thoughts with you guys, and I love your feedback. And just tell me what you want to see for the Dark Zone, for PvP, for conflict, skirmish, domination, etc., etc. You know, I'd love to see a mode of conflict where it's heavy weapons only. Imagine that. Again, no competitiveness. It's just a case of everyone grenade launchers, and it's just a shitstorm. Think Destiny 2 PvP. You know, there is a mode that this happens, and it's just fun. PvP in the Division at the minute is not fun, and I don't feel it will be in the next update. It will be painful, very painful. Go from one extreme to the other. So there needs to be that variety to go in there and say, this is absolutely fun. And at the minute, it's not. It's like having a root canal. It needs fixing. And guys, hopefully, I want your feedback. I want to see what you have to say about this game, because it's at a point where I feel, do I need to move on from this game? Because the PvE, as fun as it is, will become stale in time. Yes, there's a raid, but what's after that? There's not a lot to keep me going, you know. And with the announcement of Ghost Recon Breakpoint in October, that's got me thinking that's something I'd love to play and do content for as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for the rant. I apologise. I genuinely do. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have, please drop a like. And if you want to see more Division 2 content, smash the subscribe button. Feedback below. Can't wait to read it. Take it easy, guys.